Good evening. Thank you for watching as we go through the book of Proverbs. And today is the 20th of September, and we are on Proverbs Chapter 20, reading out of the New Living Translation. Appreciate the comments. Some are even listing and highlighting verses that stand out to them. So, however you comment, I appreciate it. The feedback is encouraging as we around the corner at over halfway done. So today's the 20th, and so we only have 10 more days, and we'll be through the book of Proverbs. If there is another book that you'd like to explore and read together, put that in the comments. That'd be awesome. Or maybe a teaching. I'm thinking about joining these series we are on currently on Agenda Gen in the area of faith, and I'm thinking about it wouldn't be every day, but I'm thinking about really highlighting some aspects of faith. So if you got some thoughts, put them in the comments. Let's go. Wine produces mockers. Alcohol leads to brawls. Those led astray by drink cannot be wise. The king's fury is like a lion's roar. To rouse his anger is to risk your life. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no food at the harvest. Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. That's a great verse. Verse 6, many will say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly reliable? The godly walk with integrity. Blessed are their children who follow them. When a king sits in judgment, he weighs all the evidence, distinguishing the bad from the good. Who can say, I have cleansed my heart and I am pure and free from sin? False weights and unequal measures the Lord detests, double standards of every kind. Even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure or whether it is right. Ears to hear and eyes to see, both are gifts from the Lord. That's verse 12. If you love sleep, you will end in poverty. Keep your eyes open and there will be plenty to eat. The buyer haggles over the price, saying it's worthless, then brags about getting a bargain. That's a great verse. Verse 14. Amen. Wise words are more valuable than much gold and many rubies. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. Stolen, that's a great business advice right there. My goodness. Stolen bread tastes sweet, but it turns to gravel in the mouth. Plans succeed through good counsel. Don't go to war without wise advice. A gossip goes around telling secrets, so don't hang around with chatters. If you insult your father or mother, your light will be snuffed out in total darkness. An inheritance obtained too early in life is not a blessing in the end. Don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. The Lord detests double standards. He is not pleased by dishonest scales. The Lord directs our steps, so why try to understand everything along the way? Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God and only latter counting I'm sorry. Let me do that again. Verse 25. Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God and only later counting the cost. A wise king scatters the wicked like wheat and then runs his threshing wheel over them. The Lord's light penetrates the human spirit, exposing every hidden motive. Unfailing love and faithfulness protect the king. His throne is made to secure through love. The glory of the young is their strength. The gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. Physical punishment cleanses away evil. Such discipline purifies the heart. It's a great chapter, just a great chapter. And I think really we've read, this is the 20th chapter. This is the first time that we've actually read about wine and the impacts of, uh, alcohol and I said later on we'll touch on narcotics, or drug, pharmaceuticals. But this is the first mention of wine. And so there is a warning about wine, how it can dull the senses, and how one that is influenced, intoxicated, and led astray is not wise. You cannot use wisdom when you don't have your faculties. And that's why many mistakes made and many accidents happen, because wisdom goes out the window when you're under the influence of alcohol. So be not overcome with wine, and so that you can maintain your wits about you. All right. Another verse, that was verse 1. Another verse I love is false weights and unequal measures. The Lord detests double standards of every kind. Then I want to read the next two verses. Even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure and whether it is right. Ears to hear, verse 12, and eyes to see, both are gifts from the Lord. So what is he saying? Use them. He's saying for us to use them. Don't ignore the natural faculties that God gives us. Sometimes decisions can be made, judgments can be rendered simply by paying attention to what we hear and what we see. You don't need to fast. You don't need to have a shut-in. If we would just pay attention to what we hear and what we see. And I like how both things are mentioned there. And it doesn't say just pay attention to what you hear only, but also what you see. The saying is this, when a person shows you themselves, believe it and believe them. Also, Jesus said it this way: a tree is known by the fruit that it bears. What you observe, what you see, what you can measure, your experience walking with a person, their consistency, their integrity, their humility, their motives. You see, if you pay attention, sometimes we dismiss what's right in front of us because we want to believe the best in people. And I do. I think the default in any relationship, the default is to go in trusting. I'm going to trust you until you show me otherwise. I'm not going to put a wall up, keep you at a distance. I'm going to trust you until you show me otherwise. But if you show me otherwise, I'm going to believe you. So pay attention. Don't dismiss. A lot of relationships. Pastor Gail and I talk to a lot of couples and things, or people wanting to get married, and things of that nature. But what they're seeing and what they're hearing is right in front of them, but they're caught up in emotion, caught up in love, or their perception of love, or their desire to not be lonely anymore. So they ignore what they see and what they hear. What you see and what you hear can save you a lot of trouble, a lot of anguish, a lot of regret. So, verse 13, 12, we'll close with that. Eyes to hear, ears to hear, eyes to hear, ears to hear, and eyes to see. Both are gifts from the Lord. Let's use those gifts. Amen. God bless you all. Thank you. That was Proverbs, the 20th chapter. Tomorrow we'll be on chapter 21 as we getting really close to closing out the book of Proverbs during this month of September. I hope you're reading along with me. Please, if you haven't, if you missed some chapters, go back and take a listen. I try to be as expeditious as possible and not hold people up, because I know we're looking at a lot of things, listening to a lot of things, living busy lives. So I just try to highlight a few things and move on. All right. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and have a great upcoming weekend. God bless. See you tomorrow.